Today we're exploring a topic that affects every single one of us: blood sugar. Now, before you start thinking, oh, another boring health talk, let me tell you, what you're about to learn could truly transform how you feel every single day. We're talking about everything from what you eat, to how you feel, and even how you think. And we're going to break it all down with the help of two incredible experts: biochemist Jessie Inchauspé and Dr. Sarah Berry, a leading researcher in nutritional science. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Let's start with a quick story. Imagine you're Jessie, a biochemist heading into work one morning at a genetics lab in sunny California. It's just another day, right? But this day, something unusual happens. During the morning meeting, management offers staff the chance to try out a new medical device. Curious, Jessie decides to give it a go. Little did she know, this device, a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, would set her on a journey that would change her life and help countless others along the way. So what exactly did this CGM reveal? And why should you care? Let's find out. The first time I wore a continuous glucose monitor was about 4 years ago, and it was eye-opening. I was shocked to discover that a lot of the foods I thought were healthy were actually causing havoc with my blood sugar levels. Every time I ate, my blood sugar would spike rapidly and then crash just as quickly. And this wasn't just about feeling a little tired. These spikes were triggering serious mental health issues that I had been dealing with since I was a teenager. But the CGM gave me a window into what was happening inside my body. It was like I finally had a direct line of communication with myself. I could see how every bite of food, every step I took, and even how I slept affected my blood sugar. And let me tell you, once you see that, you can't unsee it. That's fascinating, Jessie. So, let's back up a little bit for those of us who might not be familiar with the term. What exactly is blood sugar, and why does it matter so much? Blood sugar, or blood glucose, is essentially the amount of glucose circulating in your bloodstream at any given time. When we eat foods, especially those rich in carbohydrates, our bodies break them down into glucose, which then enters our bloodstream. This glucose is our primary source of energy. Every cell in our body relies on it to function properly. However, it's not just about having glucose in your blood. It's about how much and how quickly your blood sugar levels rise and fall throughout the day. Imagine your blood sugar levels like a roller coaster. If it's constantly spiking and crashing, it's not just a wild ride, it's a dangerous one. These fluctuations can lead to a host of health issues, from type 2 diabetes to cardiovascular disease, and even certain types of cancer. Wow, so it's really not something to take lightly. But here's the thing. We've all heard that blood sugar spikes are bad, but why do they happen? And what's the big deal if they do? When you eat something high in carbohydrates, like a bowl of cereal, your body breaks it down into glucose pretty quickly. This causes a sharp rise in your blood sugar levels, what we call a spike. But what goes up must come down, and often, it comes down too quickly, leading to a crash. These crashes can leave you feeling tired, cranky, and craving more sugar or carbs, which can start the cycle all over again. But it's not just about feeling a bit off. These constant spikes and crashes put a strain on your body. Over time, they can lead to insulin resistance, where your cells stop responding properly to insulin, the hormone that helps regulate your blood sugar. This is a key factor in the development of type 2 diabetes. And that's not all. These spikes also cause inflammation, which is linked to a variety of chronic diseases, including heart disease and some cancers. And it's not just about the long-term risks. In the short term, these blood sugar spikes can really mess with your day-to-day life. Think about it. Have you ever felt incredibly hungry just an hour or two after eating? Or maybe you've experienced that 3 p.m. slump where you feel like you could fall asleep at your desk. That's your blood sugar roller coaster at work. It's exhausting, and it can even affect your mood and mental clarity. Okay, so clearly, managing blood sugar is crucial. But how do we do it? Is it just about avoiding carbs altogether? Jessie, I know you've got some great hacks that have worked wonders for you and so many others. Let's dive into those. Absolutely. And here's the good news. You don't have to give up carbs or sugar completely. It's all about how you eat them. So, let's start with the first hack: food order. When you eat a meal, the order in which you consume different types of foods can significantly impact your blood sugar levels. Studies have shown that by eating your vegetables first, followed by protein and fat, and saving the carbs for last, you can reduce the blood sugar spike from that meal by up to 75%. The fiber in the vegetables slows down the absorption of glucose, while the protein and fat help to moderate the rise even further. This means fewer cravings, more stable energy levels, and better overall health. That's such a simple but powerful change. And speaking of simple, let's talk about your second hack, which involves something most of us probably have in our kitchens right now: vinegar. Yes! Vinegar is like a secret weapon against blood sugar spikes. If you have a tablespoon of vinegar before a meal, either in a glass of water or as a salad dressing, it can reduce the spike from that meal by up to 30%. The acetic acid in vinegar slows down the breakdown of starches into glucose, and it also helps your muscles take up more glucose from your bloodstream. It's an easy and effective way to keep your blood sugar levels steady without changing what you're eating. Who knew something as simple as vinegar could make such a big difference? Now, what about the next hack? Something to do with moving after meals. That's right. After you eat, your muscles are primed to use glucose as fuel. Just 10 minutes of light exercise, like walking, dancing, or even just cleaning up around the house, can help your muscles soak up the glucose from your meal, preventing it from spiking your blood sugar. It doesn't have to be intense, just get moving. These are all fantastic tips, Jesse. But let's not forget one of the most important meals of the day: breakfast. Sarah, can you tell us why breakfast is so crucial when it comes to blood sugar? Absolutely. Breakfast sets the tone for your blood sugar levels for the rest of the day. If you start with a high-carb, sugary breakfast, you're likely setting yourself up for a day of spikes and crashes. But if you switch to a savory breakfast that's high in protein, like eggs or Greek yogurt, you'll keep your blood sugar more stable throughout the day. And here's an interesting point. Our research at Zoe has shown that while some people think it's best to have carbs in the morning when your glycemic control is better, the impact of a savory breakfast far outweighs any benefits from timing alone. By starting your day with a protein-rich meal, you can prevent those mid-morning crashes and keep your energy levels steady. So, to sum it up, if you're looking to manage your blood sugar, a savory breakfast is the way to go. And what about those of us who still want to enjoy something sweet now and then? Great question. If you want to indulge in something sweet, the best time to do it is right after a meal, ideally lunch or dinner. When you eat dessert on its own, it can cause a huge spike in your blood sugar. But if you have it after a balanced meal, the spike will be much smaller, thanks to the other foods you've already eaten. Plus, by following the food order hack, veggies first, carbs last, you can further reduce that spike. Alright, so we've covered a lot today: food order, vinegar, exercise, breakfast, and even the best time to enjoy dessert. But before we wrap up, let's talk about personalization. Sarah, can you explain how different people can have such varied responses to the same foods? Absolutely. One of the most fascinating things we've discovered through our research at Zoe is just how differently people respond to the same foods. In our studies, we've seen up to a 10-fold difference in blood sugar responses between individuals eating the exact same meal. This variability is influenced by a number of factors, including genetics, gut microbiome, and even lifestyle. This means that while general principles, like the hacks we've discussed, can help everyone, there's also a huge benefit in personalizing your diet to your unique biology. That's where tools like continuous glucose monitors can be really valuable. They give you real-time feedback on how your body is responding to different foods, so you can make more informed choices. And that's exactly why I'm such a big advocate for CGMs. They've helped me understand my body in a way I never could before, and they can do the same for you. But even if you don't have access to a CGM, the hacks we've talked about today are a great place to start. By making small changes to how you eat and move, you can have a big impact on your blood sugar and overall health. Thank you, Jesse and Sarah, for sharing your insights with us today. Managing blood sugar doesn't have to be complicated or restrictive. It's all about understanding how your body works and making simple adjustments that fit into your lifestyle.